in this country.
I don't know if it's true, if it has to come across his desk or not. However, because it is an unprecedented situation.
But do you think he should get paid by the Justice Department? That's the question.
My personal advice, if he asked me, would be have him table this until you leave office. The process started before you came to office. You then won an election.
So in this clip, we're going to watch Scott Jennings, who better dismantle this panel of woke tools, especially the Abby Phillips and the Anna Navarro. And I don't know that other black girl's name, but we're going to watch Scott Jennings dismantle these woke tools for taking literally everything that Trump says out of Trump's mouth so literal. It's ridiculous, okay? Like Trump demanding the DOJ pay him $230 million. They owe me a lot. Trump probably just said this just to say it. Scott Jennings is going to bring this panel back to some form of, I don't even know if Scott Jennings can save this panel, but the Abby Phillips and Anna Navarro who get so worked up over every little thing that comes out of Trump's mouth is so tiring, bro. It really is. So I really hope to watch Scott Jennings put these woke women, too many women, in the panel, in their place. Let's go ahead and get into it.
And you look, I think maybe he was damaged and he's entitled to the process. If it were me and I were advising him, I would just say, you can table it and put it off until you leave office.
Was he damaged?
No, I mean, he's president. How much damage did he go through? His wealth apparently is higher now than it was when he was elected. Politically, I'm not in the habit of giving Republicans advice, but there is no way a president gets paid $250 million and people can barely pay their rent and put groceries on the table. That is smart.
Gonna have to cut in again, guys. There's always this comparison of people who could barely put food on the table. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to laugh at people who don't have a lot of money or something like that. I would never do something so crass and, just without care like that. Careless, basically. But at the same time, why are you comparing our shift workers, you know what I mean, like hourly workers, to the president of the United States? Do you understand? It's a shame because, unfortunately, I will say some of the people around Trump, I don't trust them. So it's like we end up not getting fully everything. That's a different story for another day. But why would she even say that? Because a president of a country, I don't think it should be compared that the cashier is not getting paid the same amount. Is that what she just tried to do? This girl, and then, with that hair, how do you give anybody any kind of advice? I don't know. Anyway, let me go ahead and get right back to the clip.
Actually, if you ever want to be able to make a case that you are for the working people, that math does not math in any, most people can't even fathom having $1 million, but $250 million just doesn't make sense to me.
Let's say that it is true that he gets it and he gave it to charity. Would that change your opinion?
The money is taxpayer money, though. I don't want my taxpayer dollars to, if I want to give to charity, I give to charity all the time. Let me do it that way.
Why is taxpayer dollars going toward this?
Well, for context, Donald Trump has faced more politicization and weaponization of the DOJ than any person in history. He's faced this for almost 10 years. The Mar-a-Lago raid, the Mueller report, and I think the average Trump voter looks at this. They feel that he was unfairly targeted for nearly a decade. There was a situation last year where if he hadn't been elected, it's very possible he could have ended up in jail. And so I think the average Trump voter looks at that and they remember back to the Obama era when the IRS was targeting the Tea Party, and they feel that this is sort of restitution. They don't think this is corruption.
It's restitution that goes directly to Trump's pockets?
They think this is a correction for years and years of political targeting where he paid $107 million in legal fees from 2020 to 2024.
The
so we are talking about unprecedented
a big chunk of those legal
numbers, but I would also add this is not the first time that the DOJ has in fact paid out money in settlements. They paid $2 million.
Sure, yeah, they paid out one to a January 6th rioter. That also happened, but it doesn't necessarily make it right. And I think the question is, for the rest of the country, perhaps not the MAGA folks, how do they see this? And also, what does it say about the Justice Department that Trump is even setting up this situation in which he's got two former lawyers, effectively, who might decide whether he gets a massive payday?
Listen, it stinks to holy hell, and I actually think Scott is suggesting a very Solomonic solution here. I heard Jeffrey Toobin say earlier today that there's a statute of limitations that runs. So I think they need to figure out how to stop that statute of limitations until he is no longer president. Alternative.
It is a dumb thing to say. By the way, guys, if you like the clips, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and a notification bell. Thank you to everybody who's watching. So, hold up. We're going to, let's just stop the statute of limitations. We're just going to stop. Let's figure out a way to stop it. All right, we're going to stop the statute of limitations for Trump so that more people on the left can start crying. Oh, that's really fascist. Like, girl, oh my gosh. You know, please, this is a non-argument to me. This is pointless. I mean, the man was targeted. No matter how people feel about him today, you know, again, like the truth is the truth. I was there. I saw the targets. It was constant. It was like every Tuesday there was a new indictment. It was crazy. And it was sending messages to all of us. And I still hear those messages loud and clear no matter who's in charge of the government.
Find independent people that can take a look at the claims. Look, there's people who claim that getting indicted and convicted actually made him president and helped him become president. But this is just, you know, one more stripe on the tiger, right? You've got the crypto grift. You've got the Melania getting paid $40 million from Amazon for a documentary. You've got Melania selling Christmas ornaments. You've got Trump hawking watches. You've got...
Why can't Melania sell Christmas ornaments? What is there like something? Please drop a comment and let me know. Is there something that even the first lady can't sell something? Why are we giving Melania a hard time? So this is pointless again.
The $400 million jet from Qatar. I mean, the list is long and long and long with no oversight. And
Trump didn't tell Qatar to give him the jet. Sorry, guys. I have to keep cutting in. This guy, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's nodding. You know? Like, did Trump call Qatar and say, give me a jet?
It is happening at a moment when there are federal workers showing up to work, like TSA agents, and not getting paid. When there are lines that go around the block at soup kitchens in Washington, D.C. of federal workers that don't have the money to buy groceries and feed their families. So the tone deafness here is disgusting, but at the same time, it is the level of corruption that has almost become normal because of the lack of Republican willingness to be oversight on what is happening.
Trump seems to also really enjoy getting money out of entities. I just truly, I think a lot of people would be surprised to see him trying to do it out of the U.S. government. I mean, he's already, law firms have already paid more than $1 billion in what he is describing as free work for Trump. Paramount, $16 million. ABC, $15 million. Meta, $25 million. And this is perhaps just one more notch in his belt that he'd like to add.
You know, Sister Abby, it reminds me really of the greatest satirical writer in the English language, Jonathan Swift, who died in Dublin, Ireland, 280 years and 2 days ago in Gulliver's Travel, where he talks about the thickness of the corruption, not just of one party, but of the system as a whole. The levels of spiritual malnutrition and moral constipation, so that the average person in the country looks and sees there's unbelievable forms of mendacity.
Yeah, but I'm not going to have you preach to me because you are a liar. And you have made your money dividing people with your communistic type of Marxist thinking. You would never tell people where true Marxism comes from. You guys are liars. You're right. He's right. The system is jacked because they're talking about, oh, Trump is doing this, Trump. They all make money when they go in there. That doesn't make it better, but it is what it is. This is a very jaded system, and you better ask Gen Z how they feel about it. They've had enough. But I'm not going to listen to Cornel West tell me about it. Cornel West is keeping out a lot of very important parts to that conversation. So Cornel can go ahead. Guys, once again, there's so many bigger fish to fry right now in this country. You know, I'm not with the lawsuits on media sites. I'm just not. But it is what it is. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.